I could have been there, loaded to go with my acting gear, playing a young tough guy with a leer, as Jim Rockford disdainfully ignores the stare. Yes, in that episode called Claire. I say this as I look in the mirror. You see, I'm a character actor with some flair and a vivid imagination, being part of the Rockford File Nation. 122 shows. I've studied them blows to blows. And everyone who knows I can play morose and young hobos, thus being eligible for many shows. Don't say, "How do you dare?" because I could have been there. One of my favorite shows, the Rockford Files. I wrote this poem about a week or so ago. I think I was a little drunk in a bar. Har har. It's memorable to me, not only because it was a great show in the know, a lot of humor, but it started right when I went to college in 1974, all the way through my 4 years of college, into the 5th year when I was a year out of college, and then halfway through my 2nd year out of college, and it abruptly ended in January 1980. And back then, they didn't have the internet where you could find out right away what happened. All of a sudden, it just wasn't on the air anymore. I said, oh, they skipped a week. It's early January. Just never came back on. Eventually, I think I saw it in Variety or someplace or in the news in March or April that they had canceled the show, and there was a conflict going on between James Gardner and the studio. He was claiming he was injured. He was too infirm to go to the set. He thought they would give him some more time. They had about 8 shows to shoot. And all of a sudden, they abruptly canceled the damn show. And being a Rockford File fan, I wish they had shown those shows. And I still wish they had them in the can. And of course, that never happened. The last show just was the last show because it was the last show that was aired. It wasn't even the last show shot. But that's the way it turns out with a lot of these series. Very seldom do they know this is going to be the last season, the last show. So whatever happens to be that last show of the last season, that's the last show. But it isn't planned out as being the last show, if you know what I mean. Don't scream! I'm not driving you nuts. I'm not a putz. I still watch the Rockford Files every morning, Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. on Cozy TV. All these neat retro television stations. But enough said. I am well read when it comes to this stuff. I do Google searches on the shows. I look up the history of the particular show and the actors. I really love it. I do it with a lot of shows from the 50s and 60s, like Wanted Dead and Alive, Dead or Alive, and all the movies I watch, past, present, future, coming up. I Google them and I look at the history on IMDb and get everything. Users' reviews are very good to read, and trivia, and then the full cast and crew. I look at the actors and also the director, the writer. I get their histories. A lot of the histories are amazing. They go way back. Some of them are just here and gone. Some have untimely deaths. Some are still living. It's very giving, whatever that means to you. Hoo-hoo. Toodaloo. Don't be a fool. Everything's cool. I'm not a tool. This is old school.